what her background was, because we're all, what our backgrounds are, figure into who we are.
Kevin, can you talk about writing your character for Underworld, and what was your thought process behind that?
Basically, I want to put myself in the movie. Because, since I'm such an unusual type, it's hard to really get roles. So, I figured that, why don't I just, create something for myself? And so that's how Rage came about. And, his name means basically destroying, raise a building. So I wanted this, werewolf, lycanthropic engine of destruction. That's what I wanted. And so it was easy.
Another question. Yeah.
Yes.
How do you feel? It seems like the monsters of this type, like vampires, have been such a European tradition. How has it affected you as a person in the future of filmmaking with these monsters that have been traditionally held onto by the European ethnicities?
Do you mean, how do I look at that being a black man?
As a person, but also as an actor.
You know what? I just look at them as cool entities, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter where the origins were, of course there's going to be a Eurocentric slant to it because we live in a Western society, and that's the kind of clothing we use, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at where they came from, a lot of them have beginnings or origins in a myriad of different cultures. Did the werewolf come from, legend come from ancient Egypt with Anubis, or did it come from, I think it was in the Bible with King Nebuchadnezzar. He was cursed by God to become a kind of beast, and go mad. Now, I don't think God changes morphology or anything, but he was mad. And so, where do they come from? I mean, it doesn't know. I just think it was cool entities and, deal with them like that.
Steve, I'd like, in the movie 30 Days of Night, Danny Houston gives, I think, one of the greatest performances of it as a vampire. Can you talk about, because in the comic there are two protagonists.
Right.
Will you talk about the things that we talked about in the interview when you talked about how Danny worked with you and that?
Well,
Yeah.
in the comic, there's a younger group of vampires that comes in, and it's the elders who come and say, we know about this place. There's a reason we don't attack here. But when the studio got their hands on the script with two villains, they just said we couldn't do it. So the audience would confuse the audience or something. So what Danny did was, and he did it very subtly, but as you watch it, also you have to look what the character looks like. Because it's Marlowe and Vicente, and he's just Marlowe in the movie. So what he did was, as the movie progressed, he kept wiping more and more blood out of his collar and bringing it out so that by the end of the movie, it looked like the elder wearing that tuxedo jacket.
Because he does actually make that journey.
Yeah.
He does actually make the journey from that point to that point.
He did.
Kristen, one of the things you did is you never went too far with that character. You really, because the character could go to a place. How did you achieve that? How did you achieve that kind of control of the character?
I'm glad to hear I did, because we would often, in a wardrobe fitting, there would be this crazy outfit, and she'd have the latex, and then we'd add some leather, and then she'd go lace gloves, and we'd go, sure. And then there'd be some crazy spike necklace, too much, and we were like, I don't think there's ever too much with man. Like, we would always wonder where the line was. And so, as far as acting, I felt like Juliet mentioned, where I never thought in my head that she was evil. I didn't, and I made the same joke. Is that bad? But the writing and my scene partners, you can't really play vampire, but you can play. I love this person. and I can't have him die. And that's all when it got down to the day, is I've got to hit my marks and I have to say these lines believably. And for me to do that, I just have to connect to what's actually in all of us and thoughts and feelings that everybody has. And I also felt the writing was so consistent for Pam. Really, she never had to do something to serve the story that she wouldn't have done.
I totally agree. I think we're out of time, right? Juliet, do you want to say, we're going to be, we have a booth in the convention if you want to come over and see us.
Far wall this way in the middle.
So please come over and say hi, and we have some, we're actually going to do a pre-promotion for Indiegogo, so if you buy something from us now, you become a partner in the film.
And get all the
And you get the perks of that level. And you know what, guys? Thank you so much. You were really, really amazing.